A new study finds the vast majority of violent crime in Oslo, Norway, is committed by migrants and asylum seekers. OAN America's Pearson Sharp explains how the shocking trend is not isolated to Norway.
Going against the left-wing media's narrative of peaceful migrants yearning for a new life, reports from Norway reveal 70% of those convicted for violent crimes in Oslo have been migrants. Courts in the Norwegian capital saw cases for 140 individuals guilty of violent crimes who were sentenced in 2018. Fully 2 out of every 3 of the convicts were foreigners, most of them from Africa and the Middle East. That means migrants are responsible for far more violent crime than native Norwegians, since migrants make up 33% of the population in Oslo. The convictions were over deadly assaults involving knife attacks and beatings, and many have left the victims permanently injured. Researchers say they aren't surprised by the findings and explain that people who come from violent cultures usually bring those habits with them. The police chief of Oslo said he had grave concerns about the dramatic rise in violence and warned that these migrants had no respect for law enforcement either. The chief added that migrant youths typically perform very badly in schools, which he says contributes to their violence elsewhere. Despite the latest numbers, Norway's leaders deny there's any problem with immigration. The mayor of Oslo claims Norway faces challenges, but refuses to admit migrant integration poses any serious issues. Yet the police chief says the severity of the attacks are worsening, and the criminals have become even more criminal. Researchers at the Norwegian Social Research Institute NOVA explain that migrants are typically low income and high unemployment, as well as low education, and have children who don't finish school. Norway isn't alone, however, as the problem of violent migrants has spread to England, Italy, France, and dozens of other countries across Europe. In Germany, 51% of all convicted criminals in prison are foreigners, as are 75% of all pre-trial prisoners. Most convicts in Germany are from Turkey, and in areas around Munich, half of all the suspects in current investigations are migrants and asylum seekers. In Italy, 1 out of every 3 suspected criminals is a foreigner, while in Austria, the number of women raped or sexually assaulted by migrants shot up by 133% in 1 year. 40% of all crime in Austria is committed by foreigners. Over half of all criminal suspects in Vienna are foreigners, and more than half of all suspects who murdered women are migrants. The majority of the suspects in both rape and murder cases in Austria are from Afghanistan. Pearson Sharp, OAN America News.